George, I want 6 eggs.
6 eggs.
2 pieces of sausage. 4 pieces of toast.
Chef, right back to you.
2 eggs blindfolded, hash browns, biscuits and gravy.
Well, I think about it. I want one of those breakfast lunches to go.
My God, you're gonna eat all that food?
Yes, ma'am.
Always have a... Are you gonna put all that pepper on my egg? My God, it took the top off. It's all my broth is going out the tube.
Some silverware.
I think you need a shovel.
You can't even taste them eggs. They're nothing but pepper.
All good Southern boys salt their eggs.
John Wayne didn't even eat it.
He wasn't wrong.
Big Sam Rayburn Reservoir in the heart of the East Texas piney woods. Site of the $195,000 Bassmaster Texas Invitational Central Division Tournament. Now, there are 2 things in this world that turn a bassin' man on: good country cooking and 10-pound bass. Sam Rayburn Lake is blessed with both. Hereabouts, folks rate the menu at Dorothy Scott's restaurant almost equal with the bass fishing. And it just figures that on a tournament day, you eat here, you meet your partner here, or both. But one thing you don't do here, Pilgrim, is badmouth the service, because the Duke, John Wayne, is not likely to take kindly to a bad-talking dude. Yes, Dorothy's restaurant is dedicated to John Wayne memorabilia. 4 walls of it, most of it collected by Bass Tournament Trail anglers. This is the 18th time for the Bassmaster Tournament Trail to visit Rayburn, far and away the leader in most repeat stops. Recent highlights include March 1991. Jimmy Nolan weighs in 86 pounds with 20 bass, a record for a Bassmaster BP Top 100. March of '92, Shaw Grigsby scores 62 pounds 8 ounces and wins the Texas Invitational. And in that same tournament, Kevin Van Dam registers the largest 5 bass catch in BASS history, 31 pounds 11 ounces. March 1993, Randy Dearman weighs in 15 bass totaling 67 pounds 13 ounces, a record for a 5 bass daily limit Bassmaster tournament. But records are made to be broken. And last season, the BASS pros bettered the Rayburn marks at Santee Cooper, South Carolina, and Lake Seminole in Georgia. However, one Rayburn feat established in the 1994 Texas Invitational will be tough to top. The largest live-action BASS tournament caught bass in the 11-year history of our Bassmasters television series. Guy Akers Sr. of Cherryville, North Carolina, hooked this 9-pound, 1-ounce largemouth with Bassmaster cameraman Bo Anello alongside during the first morning's action in the '94 Rayburn tournament. Capturing such tournament action as this on tape is a moment in time, and this heavyweight anchored Guy Akers' winning 49-pound total. With the new Central and Eastern Division Bassmaster Invitational trails, Guy Akers not on hand to defend his Rayburn title. However, there are 327 other pros here hoping to land the $35,000 first place prize, including $14,000 cash and a fully rigged Ranger bass boat, powered by an OMC Johnson or Evinrude outboard. So stay tuned.
Are you ready for a bass tournament? We're going fishing on Rayburn just as soon as we can get this TV crew to quit eating Dorothy's cooking.
The time is mid-February. The place, 114,000 acres Sam Rayburn Reservoir near Jasper, Texas. For bass fishermen, usually that's a good pair to draw to, a winning combination. But this first morning of the 3-day, $195,000 Bassmaster Texas Invitational, the fishing is disappointing. Jack Haynes, a former Bassmasters Classic world champion, says the deck is stacked against the tournament pros this time.
Fish were really going to start making a move up there as it was warming up. There was a lot of 60-degree water, 57, 60-degree water up in there 2 weeks ago. But now the water temperature is falling, and basically what we're looking at is a lot of 51 to 55 degree water max. So it's really backed those fish off.
With the falling lake level, a possible pattern might be isolated bushes near the flooded pole timber. A jig and plastic worm or crawfish trailer pitched to the cover and slowly worked up and down in the limbs can trigger strikes. A slow presentation may be the key. A 5-fish tournament limit measuring at least 14 inches is the first objective. Then hunt for a heavyweight hog. But there's no pinpointing these pre-spawn bass. Mike Ballantyne, a Mount Juliet, Tennessee pro, has hooked a bass on a Carolina rig, fished 42 to 46 feet deep. The fish comes unbuttoned at the surface, but doesn't escape. Mike's mighty lucky. A quick-handed partner and a stunned bass, momentarily shocked by the quick elevator ride from the Rayburn basement. Running a crankbait over the outside ridges is Jack Haynes' primary plan. He thinks the fish will bite late.
This time of the year in the colder weather, the fish are notoriously midday to late afternoon biters, and because they just seem to start cruising these ridges a little later, and especially I feel like that the ridges are going to be more consistent on limits of fish.
Marty Fordkiller of Oklahoma and Ron Pierce of Arkansas are fishing watermelon-colored lizards rigged Carolina style. But where they're fishing is equally important.
That inside grass line, of course, is always the key, and that's why I'm staying at about 15 foot, and that way you're throwing up there on the bare spot or the little fine hydrilla that's trying to grow up there, and just fishing really from the bushes back towards the inside grass line is where the fish seem to be. Is he good?
Oh, he's we went crazy. They are biting real live.
You need help with that?
Yeah, I'd probably put him down.
He's pretty good.
He's a pretty good fish. He'll go 3.5. Give him a little time. You look good?
Yeah, he's good.
Look good?
Despite the weather, Sam Rayburn area Bassin fans turn out for the day one weigh-in at the Twin Dykes Marina. Most are curious as to how the pros will adapt to the unstable conditions. Denny Brower owns 2 previous BASS wins at Rayburn.
Your kind of tournament, though, isn't it? They're tight, aren't they?
No, they're really not, and that's the problem. I would prefer some sunshine to get them tied to the cover, but the fish I'm catching, you don't know where you're going to get a bite, and the 2 big fish weren't even really relating to targets.
7 ounces, Jim. I think
Bitter,
you
the
moved
former
into the lead.
BASS Megabucks champion, checks in with 15 pounds, 7 ounces, but is not optimistic.
I think it's going to get worse, to tell you the truth. It wasn't good today. I just caught 6 fish. Had 6 bites, and they took all day to do that.
But Richard McCarty of Texas has a bragging bag.
Pulled into the lead. Richard McCarty of Texas, show off a couple of those hogs. There's got to be some big fish in there. Boy, y'all said Rayburn would show its true colors.
As expected, the later flights are producing bigger strings, and Randy Dearman has most of it in one
Man,
fish.
I tell you, look at that. There it is, a 10-pounder, 10 pounds, 6 ounces. That puts him in the lead for the tournament and the lead for the big bass. That fish is, you're looking at a $1,000 bass right there, folks.
Yeah, I do better fishing for big fish. I don't like to fish for little fish. I'm fishing a little different than I like to fish, so I don't know if I can catch big ones every day.
Randy Dearman, the winner on Rayburn in '93, is back in the saddle again, ahead of the pack with 24 pounds, 10 ounces. He's ahead of schedule to beat his old record pace of 67 pounds, 13 ounces here, and could top the BASS record of 77 pounds, 4 ounces set by O.T. Fears at Santee Cooper Lake, South Carolina. Richard McCarty ranks second, followed by Butch Carmack, another Texas angler with 22 pounds, 1 ounce. Stay tuned. The Bassmasters will be right back. big bucks and big bass are on the line as the $195,000 Bassmaster Texas Invitational continues. Day 2, the wind switches northeast, rolling cold, muddy water into tournament leader Randy Dearman's main lake pocket. Water temperature drops to 51 degrees, ending much hope for a wave of spawners moving toward the shallows.
What they're doing, they're just coming up these draws. You know, these little old, they're not creeks, they're just little old drains. And they're moving up them, but the water's just not warm enough for them really to get up here in the bushes good. We just need about 2 days of sun, and you know, this kind of fishing here would get real good.
Yesterday, Randy caught 3 bass early on a crankbait, including the big fish, and scratched out his 5 bass limit with a jig.
Well, I'm just kind of alternating back and forth, throwing you know, some crankbaits, red crankbaits, and something that'll run 7 to 10 foot deep. There's grass out here, and I just want the bait to go deep enough to barely hit the grass. Kind of tickle it across the top of it. My boy caught 3 yesterday on a spinnerbait and lost another one, and that's probably what I'm fixing to do is roll it more out here.
Slow rolling a big-bladed spinnerbait is a different approach to using the lure. A heavy 1-ounce spinnerbait with an oversized blade is retrieved slowly, even dragged along the bottom. Such a bottom-scratching retrieve works in cold water when bass are sluggish and not easily triggered into striking a fast-moving lure. Slow rolling a big spinner is exactly what Randy's partner Dale Patton of Missouri has been dutifully doing. And he's hooked a big bass, a real heavyweight. From the looks of it, this may be the largest tournament bass ever recorded on tape in the 11-year history of our Bassmasters TV series. Cameraman Bo Anello is on a roll. Last year, as we said earlier, he captured live action of Guy Akers' 9-pound 1-ounce lunker. Dale Patton's bass looks a lot bigger.
There's your 10-pounder. Thank you, son.
One cast, one big bite can change things in this tournament. Yesterday, Dale Patton weighed in a 5 bass limit and 10 pounds 6 ounces. He's got every bit of 10 pounds in a single fish this morning.
Lucky Dale Patton. His name is Lucky.
Yeah. I'm the guy that drew Randy Dearman.
At the Day 2 weigh-in, there are no Rayburn-sized lunkers in Butch Carmack's creel, but the Longview, Texas angler moves on top the leaderboard. His 5 bass limit weighs 13 pounds, 14 ounces.
Butch is about as tight-lipped as these fish are. We're not going to, well, I'll be honest, we're probably not going to get much out of him, but how soon did you score your limit today?
I caught the last fish right at the last part of the day. It was tough today.
So how many keeper bites did you have?
I had 6 bites and caught 6 fish, caught 1.
But there's more than one photo opportunity for big bass fans. Doug Garrett of Cabot, Arkansas shows off a 10-pound 1-ounce largemouth. However, that's not the catch of the day. Stan Gersenti of California has a bigger bass, a 10-pound, 13-ounce whopper, worth a $1,000 bonus as the daily lunker leader. What about Dale Patton's big bass? Yes, 10 pounds, 3 ounces. No bonus money, but Dale's bass is destined for our Bassmasters TV highlights reel as the largest live-action BASS tournament caught bass in our 11 years of coverage on the Nashville network. Bassmasters cameraman Bo Anello again gets the credit. Mike Otten of Kentucky is about to make Bassmaster Tournament Trail history too.
I've had a tough time this tournament, whether the fish are saying yes or no to my lures, but I'd like to ask my girlfriend if she wants to marry me and see if got this ring right here. I'd like to give her. Her name is Becky. I've had a problem with the fish saying yes or no, but let's see what she says.
Man, you got to keep her here. All right. Here, wait a minute now. We got to get the mic over. You hold the mic.
Okay. Becky, will you marry me?
Yeah.
Okay. Here you go, Bob.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned, partner. This Bassmaster Texas Invitational has more twists and turns than a cow trail. Any one of these bassers could lasso the big money. The final round. Tournament leader Butch Carmack takes a page from Bassmaster Tournament Trail history. He's fishing up lake along the Highway 147 bridge crossing. That's the same area where Jimmy Nolan caught a record 86 pounds to win the Bassmaster Top 100 tournament in March of '91. Nolan fished a Carolina rigged lizard. Butch Carmack's success has been with a jigging spoon and a Carolina rigged worm. He's scored back-to-back 5 bass limits, and with 35 pounds 15 ounces, owns a better than 5-pound advantage. Randy Dearman, the first day leader, slips behind with 30 pounds 3 ounces. Richard McCarty ranks third. Denny Brower jumps from 13th place to 4th, followed by local pro Jay Yellis and Jim Bitter of Florida, who climbs from 11th to 6th place. Butch is fishing a well-known pre-spawn staging area, but today it's tougher. Denny Brower has the bright, sunny conditions he needs to position the fish on the cover for his favorite flipping method. Jay Ellis in 5th place is Carolina rigging up lake, not far from Butch Carmack.
I'm fishing an old road bed here where it's flooded. You know, the lake's high this year, and I've got about 8-9 feet of water on top of the road. And the top of the road is lined with brush. And it's a real good spot to throw a Carolina rig on. And I'm throwing a Carolina rig power craw and a power lizard up there and just dragging it right down the road bed. And this road bed is intersected by 2 different creek channels where the old bridge has been blown out. So I'm fishing the points on the end of the road bed where it drops into the creek channel.
Denny Brower may have the pattern puzzle put together.
I'd have figured out how to catch them. Sitting there jigging it up and down in one of them buck bushes. Finally, they come to it.
Denny's making a charge, but he's running out of time. The final weigh-in. Among the leaders, Randy Dearman checks in with 15 pounds 1 ounce and moves back atop the standings.
How do you feel now?
I feel like I needed one more. I only had 4, and it's not going to be enough to win. You know, I hope I can stay in the top 5 anyway.
But stranger things have happened in this tournament. Butch Carmack's no threat, 2 small keepers. Jay Yellis has 12 pounds. However, he's too far back to gain the lead. Denny Brower has 4 fish, but needed a big bite. Brian Schott of Texas weighs in 23 pounds 13 ounces and jumps from 66th place into the top 5. Gary Klein with 19 pounds 14 ounces also makes a big leap. Yet Randy Dearman holds on. The last threat is Jim Bitter. He needs 18 pounds 3 ounces.
Let's see. Oh, it looks heavy, Jerry Hook says. Get up here. Needs 18.3. He's got it, 18 pounds 4 ounces. Can you believe it? Can you believe? Hold up that fish. Man, you talk about down to the wire. Jim Bitter, I can remember when you stood on the stage at the Classic with disappointment and you lost a tournament by 1 or 2 ounces, and now you pulled in the front in this one in 1 ounce. There is a justice in this world.
Yeah, I guess so. I won't get as much money out of this I would out of that Classic, but it's pretty sweet coming from behind. I was fishing a little creek channel that swung close to the bank, and I was using a 1 ounce Strike King spinnerbait mostly. Probably caught 90% of my fish on that. The rest of the fish were on a Cordell hotspot and Riverside air lizard. Most of the fish were on that big spinnerbait, just slow rolling it right on the edge of the little creek channel.
Right now, it's time for the Pros Pointer, the how-to section of the Bassmasters, brought to you by Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
A couple of things that helped me win this Rayburn tournament I like to pass on to weekend anglers or any angler really, and that's using a big, heavy spinnerbait to do what we call slow rolling. Pre-spawn fish are slow, lethargic, and they like to stay on the bottom. You need a big bait that'll stay down near the bottom. And this is the one I use. It's a 1 ounce Strike King spinnerbait. It's got a big blade. You can feel it thumping when you're just pulling it real, real slow. You need to keep it down there. One other trick, I use this Fritz Blitz spray. And in Texas, everybody likes to use a red color. trying to match the crawdads at this time of year. So I just took this spray and sprayed the whole head and the skirt. It'll stay on most of the day. If it doesn't, you can just spray it again, and that's a good little trick that you guys might want to try. It'll help your springtime fishing a lot.
A come-from-behind victory for Jim Bitter, his third BASS win. A total weight of 45 pounds 6 ounces, worth $35,000. Jim's winning margin, all of 2 ounces over runner-up Randy Dearman. Butch Carmack finishes third with 40 pounds 2 ounces, followed by Gary Klein and Jay Yellis. Next week, the Bassmaster Tournament Trail heads to Lake Seminole in Georgia for a tough Bassmaster Top 100 challenge. Join us right here to follow the action. The Bassmasters has been brought to you by Bill Lewis Lures, the Rattle Trap People, Ranger Boats, Still Building Legends one at a time. Lowrance, setting the course in marine electronics. Bass Pro Shops, the world's largest supplier of premium tackle. Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Jerseys, America's activewear. Berkeley Power Bait, fish bite and won't let go. Team Dial, designed by the winningest pros on the tournament trail. The state of Illinois, don't miss it. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. And the Bass Angler Sportsman Society, the world's largest bass fishing organization.
18 pounds 4 ounces. Can you believe it? Can you believe? Hold up that fish. Man, you talk about down to the wire.